Hi everybody, welcome to Yoga Live. My name's Deanna and I'm going to be leading you through a nice slow flow yoga today. So I'm the registered dietitian and the director of wellness at G-Bon in Buffalo, New York, which is a health home. So I advise you to definitely check it out or check out our website and look at our videos that we have on our Facebook. We have cooking videos, step-by-step on how to make your traditional meals healthier. We have fitness challenges by our personal trainers, and you'll see some yoga videos, and we'll be having some national days that are related to health for each day of October. Not each day, but we're trying to get there. So let's get started. So get a nice cleared out space in your place of living. I know it's super rainy outside, so I'm sure you're inside. So have a nice yoga mat or a fitness mat or something that's not gonna slide around so you can stick. And if you wanna play some music that you like on a low volume so you can still hear my cues in my voice, you can go ahead. And we will not need a yoga block for this level of a class. But if you're a little bit more advanced, I highly recommend it. This way you can bring in your own flow throughout our sequences. And without further ado, let's get to it. So come to a nice, comfortable seat, sitting up tall, placing your hands on top of your knees. Gently start to close your eyes and focus on the sound and the rhythm of your breath. Taking this time to really check in with ourselves, how we're feeling physically. You could give a body scan from your head to your toes to see what parts of your body need a little bit of extra attention today. You can also use that knowledge to help really take all the breath that we inhale and send it to those places to open up more space and release tension with every exhale. So throughout the duration of practice, we usually do Ujjayi breaths with our inhales and exhales through the nose with a slight constriction on the back of the throat, sounding like the waves of the ocean. It can be audible or silent, but nothing forced. So each breath should be flowing into one another, slowly and fluid. Ujjayi breaths are also called the breath of fire or victory breath. So it serves to build heat in the body to help keep us moving, warm up our joints, make us more mobile and more flexible, build concentration. Whenever you need to release heat, release any tension, and slow down your breath a little bit more, we invite cleansing breath. So we'll do that together right now. So wherever you are in your breath, exhale, exhale, exhale. And on an inhale, really take the deepest breath of the day through your nose. Fill up your chest, fill up your belly, keep going, fill up. Hold at the top, take one more sip, and wide open mouth, exhale it out through the mouth this time. We'll do one more. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Fill up your chest. Expand your rib cage. Make your belly feel big. Exhale through the nose or the mouth, whatever is a good way to release. I know sometimes people have a hard time breathing out of their nose based on certain conditions. If that's the case, breathe out of your mouth. That's fine. But just be very mindful. Start to flutter your eyes open. And promote a soft gaze out in front of you. And take this time to make a dedication or an intention for your class. Whether it's to a certain loved one that needs a little bit of extra care right now, that are in your thoughts, prayers, or whether it's some quote or mantra that resonates with you to help keep you in the present moment and helps you remember what truly matters in the midst of this crazy world that we live in. We gotta stay true to ourselves, feel grounded of who we are, and remember the important things in life. For instance, I'm going to dedicate this practice to myself to be here in the present moment, just as simple as that. Because my schedule is super busy and I'm over here, I'm over there, so for my intention, it will be to be present and let go of any thoughts, which is what we're supposed to do throughout the duration of the class, but it helps when I actually make it an intention. Especially with a chatterful mind of mine. Bring your eye gaze straight in front of you. Chin is parallel to the floor, sit up tall. And roll your shoulders up and away from your ears and back down. Go ahead, roll a few more times, rolling up and away and down. And reverse the directions. Reach your shoulders up by your ears, releasing them down in front of you. Inhale your arms up overhead. Bring your palms together to touch. And on an exhale, bring your hands to palms to heart center. Inhale your arms up overhead. Now look at your fingertips. Keep that belly up and in. On that exhale, bring your hands to heart center. One more. Inhale your arms up overhead. Look at your fingertips. Palms come together to touch. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center, bending at the elbows. Release your right hand and extend it out by your side. And bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Feel the flexion in the right side of your neck. Keeping your shoulders down. And you can roll out your wrist, wiggle your fingers. And really feel the connection from your forearms all the way up to your side of your neck. You can even place your left hand on top of your head gently if you need a little bit of a deeper stretch, but nothing heavy on your head. Release your hands by your side, reverse. So extend your left arm out by your side. Take your right hand, place it on top of your head, and bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Feeling the stretch now to the left side of the neck. Really pulling through those fingertips, keeping that shoulder down, and feeling that openness of the left side of the neck. You roll out the wrists, wiggle your fingers. You can even strengthen your forearms by making a fist and spreading your fingers out wide. It's good work for your wrists as well. Bring your chin parallel to the floor, come back to center. Bring your chin to your chest, feel the flexion in the back of your neck. Stay tall, bring that belly up and in. Now feeling the flexion in the back of the neck. Slightly bring your chin to the right. So now that you're going to access a little bit of a different area of your neck, but sometimes, I know I do, I feel more tense in the middle to the side of my neck. So if I bring my chin a little bit more to the right while looking down, you can access those points. And even during a neck roll, you can identify what places hurt or feel tense in your neck. So now bring your chin to the left side slightly as you bring your chin to your chest. Now feeling it in the mid-right side of your neck. Bring your chin back, parallel to the floor. And reach your eye gaze up to the ceiling as you send your chest forward. And breathing length in the back of your neck so you're not crunching and dumping your head behind you. You never want to do that. Slowly bring your eye gaze back to center, very slowly and mindfully. And if you ever get dizzy, bring your palms together to touch. Press into each other and stare at your fingertips. That can help reduce any nausea or dizziness that can occur from sudden motions, which you shouldn't be doing any sudden motions anyway, but if it's your first time to yoga, you might, so. All right, inhale your arms up overhead one more time. Palms come together to touch. Feel the stretch through your belly, stretching through the fingers, and exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Beautiful. Bring your hands on top of your knees for some cow-cat. On an inhale, open your chest to the front of the room. Leave your chin parallel because it tends to make some people dizzy. And on an exhale, round the spine, bring your chin to your chest, feel the flexion in the back of your neck, and round the spine. Inhale, bring your chest forward, chin parallel to the floor. You can even hinge forward. If you like some movement, exhale, round the spine like cat. You can press into your legs with your hands. Remember to keep those shoulders down. Never hike them up. Open with cow, inhale. Exhale, around the spine. You could sit more into the glutes. Press into your hands, feel your spine and the backside body open up. Come back to center. And come onto your hands and your knees. Stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, neutral pelvis, neutral spine here. Spread those fingers out wide. That is the foundation of any pose, is really spreading those fingers. Pressing into your fingertips, pop up the space between your shoulder blades, kind of like cat spine. Round your spine, bring your chin to your chest, bring that belly in. We'll do some cow cats in a tabletop position. Inhale, open your chest to the front of the room, reach your tailbone up and lower your belly. Eye gaze straight ahead. Exhale, press into your fingertips around the spine, bring your chin to your chest. Let your head and neck release. And feel free to bring in any organic movement here. If you want to rock your hips side to side, if you want to rock your hips down and up from child's pose into tabletop, or if you just want to find some stillness and let your muscles release any tension by letting your head and neck just hang. Tuck the toes beneath you. Press into the fingertips, round the spine, bring the belly up and in. And on an exhale, lift the knees and inch off the mat. Reach the tailbone down, keep that spine rounded like cat. On an exhale, extend the right leg out so that your heel stacks over your toes. Gain one more breath and exhale your left leg straight out into plank, stacking heels right over toes. Listen carefully. Bring your knees down onto the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward so your shoulders come past the wrist creases. And on an exhale, lower down all the way, bringing the elbows in close to your body for chaturanga. Coming down all the way onto your belly. Making your body in a straight line. We'll come into baby cobra. Bring your thumb in the middle of your chest and your fingertips in line with your collarbone. Bring your forehead down on the mat, and on an inhale, reach your chest up so that only your chest is lifting. Little or no weight in the hands, but still activate the lower body. Your glutes, your legs zip in. You can even press to the tops of the feet for more activation. And every exhale, lower down, forehead meets the earth. Every inhale, open your chest to the front of the room, really using those muscles on the backside body. And lower down on an exhale, bringing your forehead to the mat. This time we'll come into full cobra if you're ready. This is a little bit more deeper than baby cobra, but this time, on an inhale, extend your arms out right in front of you, keeping your hips down on the earth. You may have to walk your hands out a little bit more, keeping shoulders down away from the ears. Opening your chest, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the lower half of the body, and lowering down all the way. Bend your knees, rock your legs side to side, windshield wiper the legs. Then come back up into tabletop, however you want to get there. Any way that's comfortable. And this time, tuck the toes. Stacking hips right over the knees, shoulders right over the wrists. On an exhale, press into the earth, or pop up the space in between the shoulder blades, lift the knees and inch off the mat, keeping the tailbone down. Pelvis is tilted a little bit forward so that your tailbone is down. Stay here, you got this. Extend the right leg, extend the back leg, and extend the legs for downward facing dog, lifting the hips all the way to the sky, straightening the legs, pressing away from the hands, letting your belly fall on top of your thighs. Ultimately, you want your legs straight and your heels sealed to the earth. If you can't do that, keep your knees bent really deeply so that your tummy can fall onto your thighs. And that will release any lower back pain or hamstring tension. Wrap those triceps down so that you're breathing length in the back of your neck. And you're in proper alignment. So we want to really screw our hands into our mat. On an inhale, lift your heels up and come onto your tippy toes. On an exhale, lower your heels down to the earth. Go ahead and walk the dog, lifting one heel and lifting the other. Bending one knee, straightening the other. You can rock hips side to side. This is your first downward facing dog class. I can't even speak today. But make this your own. If you notice a certain place in your body that you want to attend to, go for it. Just because I'm doing something different doesn't mean you have to follow it exactly. This is your own yoga practice, and that's the beautiful thing of it. Really listening to your body, having a conversation, checking in. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes, and take baby steps all the way to your hands. Straighten your legs, bellies all the way in. And as you get to your hands, separate your feet out wide, around mat's width or wider for a forward fold. We always do ragdoll, but this time we're going to do gorilla. So bring your feet hip width distance. So not as wide as I did say. I'm just so used to doing ragdoll. We're going to place our hands underneath our feet here. And you may think, oh, that's going to hurt. No. So you're going to have to bring your wrist right by the top of your toes. So as long as your toes hit the wrist crease and you bear your weight forward a little bit, you won't feel any pain in your hand. Bend your knees deeply. Let your head and neck hang heavy. You can work to straighten the legs as time goes by so that your torso is parallel to your tops of your legs. But only go as far as your body is telling you. You never want to force yourself into a pose. You never want to do anything that's painful because you think it's beneficial. There's a difference between pain and tension. That's always important. Release your hands from under your feet. Bring your feet together to touch. Let your head and neck hang heavy along with your arms. Bring a slight bend into your knees and slowly rise to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Keeping your legs strong until you rise all the way up, stacking shoulders over your hips. We'll come into Tadasana, which is the mother of all poses, and then your basis and your foundation for the rest of yoga, really. So bring that belly up and in, squeeze those legs together. Tailbone reaches down so that you don't have a curvature in your spine or deck butt. And roll your shoulders back and away from the ears, palms facing forward, belly in, chest slightly out. But we don't want to puff up the space, puff up your chest too much. People think that having a good posture means, sticking it out a little bit. No, we want to have as if a tightened core, as if we're going to be bracing for a punch. So you notice how my abs just contract. And my chest is still a little bit out here, but we don't want to be sticking it out too much or hunching. So making sure that we're in a good alignment for our bodies. Chin is parallel to the floor, and imagine a string is being pulled from the crown of your head all the way to the ceiling to really lengthen your spine. Bear weight in all four corners of your feet by lifting all 10 toes, grounding the corners, and then slowly bringing your toes down, and you'll see that your arch is kind of suction cupped a little bit, so there's a little bit of a space there. Keep you grounded. And on an inhale, reach your arms up and over your head, palms come together to touch. Look at your fingertips, extended mountain pose. And on an exhale, forward fold, bending at the elbows, flat spine, hinging at the hips, leading with the chest all the way down, releasing your hands by your feet. Inhale, hands to shins for your halfway lift. We're doing our Sun A sequence. Really lengthening the spine to the wall in front of you, keeping the neck long, your eye gaze straight below. Exhale, forward fold, bring your nose to your knees, hinging at the hips. Now an inhale, reach your arms all the way up overhead. So this is a half sun salutation because we didn't go to the floor here. Listen carefully on an exhale, forward fold. Leading with the spine all the way down, slow movements, nothing rash. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Here we go, continuing our sun A. Exhale, plant your hands down and step into plank so that your body's in one line. Puff up the space in between your shoulder blades by pressing into your fingers. Stack your heels over your toes, squeeze those legs. Don't hike those hips too much. You should be in one line. Come down onto your knees if you need some modification. Inhale, shift your weight forward so that your shoulders come past the wrist creases. Exhale, chaturanga. If you're lifted on all, I can't even speak today. If you're lifted into plank, don't come down all the way. You only want to come down halfway for chaturanga. If you're on your modified plank, then you can come down all the way. So shifting your weight forward, lowering down all the way if you're in modification. If not, going down halfway. And I'll show you what it looks like to do the original chaturanga after modification. And on an inhale, baby cobra, cobra, or upward facing dog here. So we either lift a little bit, extend all the way, or upward facing dog is your hands by your hips, lifting your hips up from the earth. That's a little bit more deep. Tuck the toes beneath you, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog, belly up and in. Press away from your hands. Let's do this together one more time. Inhale, come onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, eye gaze straight in front of you. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands to shins, come up halfway for your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, bring your nose to your knees as fast as you can for your forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms come all the way up overhead, palms come together to touch. Here we go. We'll go into our sun A's this time, not modified. Exhale, forward fold, flat spine all the way down, belly up and in, releasing your hands. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down, step into plank. Hold it here, or if you want to do modification, come onto your knees. And you would go all the way down on your chaturanga. If not, stay lifted into plank with us. Inhale, come onto the tips of your toes, shift your weight forward, move your shoulders past the wrist creases, and on an exhale, lower down halfway, hug the elbows in. Chaturanga, come down halfway, untuck the toes, lift the chest up, upward facing dog, keeping the hips off the mat. But if you want to come all the way down for just cobra, lifting the chest, go for it. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So these movements should be very fluid, slow, mindful, and connecting with each breath. So go as slow as you need, go as fast as you want. Inhale, lift the right leg up, flex the toes towards the face. Really press energy through the right heel, as if you're gonna step on the wall behind you. You'll feel the activation in your right glute. Lift your right heel a little bit higher. And on an exhale, warrior one, step your foot in between your hands. Keep that right knee bent over the right ankle. Seal the left heel down by straightening the left leg. And inhale your arms up overhead, warrior one. Eye gaze straight ahead, knee over right ankle. Square your hips to the front of the room. How do we do that? We send our right hip point back, left hip point forward. So this way we're not in one line. We want our feet staggered so that we can square our hips to the front of the room. On exhale, peel open warrior two. Now here we spread our feet a little bit wider apart. It's a wider stance here. And now our feet are gonna be similarly in one line. So if I were to draw a line between our right foot and our left foot, our right heel will intersect our left arch. Our hips are open now, whereas in warrior one, our hips were closed. Extend your arms out by your sides, make sure your shoulders are stacked over your hips. And then you can go ahead and move the eye gaze right by your right index finger so that your chin is in line with your right shoulder. Keep that tailbone down and take a look at your right toe. Is it visible? If it's not, send that right knee back. Keep that left hip point, you want to keep it down. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, reaching your right arm up and over your head, sitting down in your lunge, breathing length on either sides of your torso, stretching through the fingertips, and on an exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the right foot, and step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up, flex the toes towards the face. Really press through the left heel. Lift it a little bit higher to activate the glute a little bit more. And on an exhale, warrior one. Send your left foot in between your hands, keeping your left knee bent, strengthening the right leg, placing your right heel down. Angle your right toes at the top right corner of your mat. And inhale your arms and your torso. Left hip point back, right hip point forward to square the hips to the front of the room. You may have to step your right foot a little bit to the right so that your feet are more staggered. Take an inhale here. Exhale, peel open to the right, warrior two. Spreading out your feet a little bit more. Making sure that your left heel intersects the right arch. And the back right edge of your foot is in line with the back edge of your mat. Keep that right hip point down, shoulders stacked over those hips. Really spread energy through those fingertips. And energetically draw those heels together so you can screw your feet into the mat, bring them together, activate those legs. Flip the front palm, reach the left arm up and over your head, peaceful warrior, stretching through the left and the right side, and avoid dumping in any direction. Sitting a little bit deeper in your lunge. On your next exhale, walk your hands to frame your left foot and step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. And on an exhale, bring your knee to your nose in plank position, crunch. Inhale, reach the right leg back up. On an exhale, right knee, right elbow. Tap, hold. Inhale, shift back. And on the next exhale, right knee, left elbow for a twist and a little tap. Inhale the right leg back up. And release the right leg down to meet the left. And we're gonna go ahead and try it over on the left side. Remember to pop up the space in between the shoulder blades like cat when you're in your plank position. Inhale the left leg up. On an exhale, left knee to your nose, crunch. Inhale the left leg back up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale the left leg back up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Twist and tap. Inhale the left leg back up. And release your left leg to meet your right on your mat. Inhale your heels, lift, exhale, bend your knees, and step forward in front of your mat. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep up overhead. Palms come together to touch. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Release your arms down at your sides. Regain your Tadasana. Inhale your arms up overhead, pinkies face in towards each other. Activate those arm muscles. Exhale, sit back into chair pose. This is Stardust B. Belly up and in, tailbone down. Gaze down at your toes. Make sure that your big toes are still visible. If they're not, just shift your weight back so that you're more in your glutes. Open your chest a little bit more and sit a little bit deeper. Like you're gonna go take a seat. Hold it here, take one more inhale. Exhale, slightly bend the knees, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, hands to shins, lift halfway, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down and move through your flow. Stepping back into plank or modified plank. Shifting your weight forward on an inhale. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, baby cobra, or cobra, whatever floats your boat. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. This is Stardust B. Inhale, lift the right leg up, flex the right toes towards the face. Exhale, warrior one. Seal that left heel down, angle the left toes to the top left corner of your mat. Inhale, the arms up overhead. On an exhale, peel open, warrior two. Pivot the back foot out a little bit wider. Shoulders stack over hips, belly up and in. Hips are open to the left side of the room. Gaze at your fingers, spread your arms. Inhale, reach your arm up and over, peaceful warrior. On an exhale, listen carefully. Bring your right arm on top of your right thigh very gently, reaching your left arm up and over to the right for extended side angle. We touched on this last week. Hopefully you guys remember. Setting your tailbone down, belly up and in, and no weight really in that right forearm. So look, I want to be able to move that right arm really easily. You can even bring both arms up, but keeping the chest open, making sure that shoulder reaches back to the wall behind you. Really using those abdominal muscles, those glutes, energetically bringing those feet together to keep you stable. And reach your right arm up and over, peaceful warrior. Extend the right leg to release any tension. And cartwheel the hands down to bring the right foot. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up, flex the toes towards the face. On an exhale, plant the foot in between the hands. Rise, warrior one. Keeping those hips square to the front of the room. Pinky space in towards each other as you reach your biceps towards your ears. And on an exhale, peel open to the right, warrior two. Separate your feet out a little bit wider. Keep your hips down. Right hip is down so it's not hiked up. Spreading your arms out, looking over the left shoulder. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior or peaceful warrior. Listen carefully. Extended side angle. Coming to bring the left forearm onto the top of the left thigh, gently reaching the right arm up and over your head. Opening the chest up, so bring your right shoulder to the wall behind you. Little or no weight in that forearm. If you want to work into more of the side abs, breathe both arms to the side of the room. Keep that chest open. Screw those feet into the mat. Reach your left arm up and over your head, peaceful warrior. Extend the left leg to release any tension for a reverse triangle. And cartwheel the hands down to frame the left foot. And step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep up by your sides. Palms come together to touch. And release your arms down by your sides. We'll go into some standing balances here. And this time, we are going to, we're gonna come into Warrior 3 today, which is a new one. I wanted to bring in something new for you to work on. And like I said, you don't have to do it to the full extent of how, deep it looks, but doing the best you can to practice and get there. So always start from Tadasana. Sometimes we can go into Warrior 3 from our many different variations. If you want to do it from crescent lunge, which I like to do, and you just lift the back foot up. But for today's purpose, we're going to stand straight. We're going to really focus. And this may help you. I don't think this was generally taught me, but this really, really has helped me. So come onto the top of your right toes and send one of your feet back. So let's bring our right foot back first. Our hips are still in one line to the front of the room. And you know what? I'm going to face you. So bring that right foot back, coming onto your tippy toes. Bear weight evenly in both feet. So you're not wobbling around. Really stretch through those fingertips, biceps to ears, belly up and in. Come and bear weight mostly on the left foot now. Come onto your right toe and tilt forward. You can bend your left knee if you'd like, but really try and straighten it. Flex the right toes towards the face And the more that you really stretch through your fingertips, stretch through the back heel and lift up through the back leg, the more able you are to balance. And you just tilt further and tilt further. So it's kind of like a deadlift in the air. And if you wiggle and you wobble and you fall, that's okay. It's okay to fall. It means you're getting stronger. And then you release all the way back up. And release down. Ooh. So as long as you're really activating those muscles and bearing weight in the correct places, finding one point of focus, it really helps. So let's try the other side. Stretch through the fingertips, biceps at the ears. Reach the back leg, the left leg behind you. Come onto your tippy toes on the back foot. Keep that right foot grounded strong. Belly up and in. And start to bear more weight in your right foot as you lift the back leg up, flex the toes. Flex the toes. Hinge at the hips. Stretch through the fingers, through the back heel. Kick up behind you so that your torso is parallel to the floor. The more you spread in the opposite directions, the easier it is. And lift back up slowly. And if you're still practicing, good. Keep going. All right, we'll take a nice half sun salutation. So come at the top of your mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Look at your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Flat spine all the way down, leading with the chest. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep up overhead. Palms come together to touch. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Beautiful. Separate your feet out wide, bring your heels on your mat, your toes off your mat for Malasana squat or the yogi squat. Bring your hands at heart, pressing your hands in together. You'll feel your arm muscles. Bending your knees, bringing your tush close to the ground. Bring your elbows inside of your thighs so that it's right by your knee. So you're pressing into your arms and your arms into your legs. That's gonna help you open up your chest. So I always see a lot of people hunching and trying to stretch this way, and sure, maybe your hips are still stretched, but this is not good for your back and your spine. So you wanna open up the heart space. That will really open up your hip flexors even more as well. Move side to side, or if you just want stillness, meditate, close your eyes, and enjoy. Always returning to your breath. Place your hands behind you and come to a comfortable seat. Whew. Extend your legs out in front of you. Flex the toes towards your face. Sitting up tall. Breathe your arms up all the way by your ears. And on an exhale, hinge forward with a flat spine. And releasing your hands behind your feet or on top of your shins, wherever your body's telling you to stop. Just to feel some tension, some stretch. And breathe into those spaces. If you want to round the spine, you can go ahead and do so, but you want to make sure that you start with a flat spine, and then you can go ahead and round if you have some back soreness. Release your spine, sit up tall, extend your arms out in front of you, fingers out wide, flex the toes, and start to tilt back behind you, rounding the spine so that you could activate and contract the abdominal muscles. And slowly breathe 1 inch of your spine down on the mat at a time. You got this. Stay lifted. One more, and place Your arms up over your head for a full body stretch. Stretching through the tips of your fingers, tips of your toes. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest, come to a tight little ball. Rock side to side. Come to happy baby, grabbing onto the outers or the inners of your feet. Placing your whole entire length of your spine onto your mat. So don't lift your tailbone up, don't lift the lower back up. You really want to press your feet and hands into one another. And you'll see your spine unravel down onto your mat. You could extend one leg and work to extend the other leg to go into your hamstrings, or you could even do both legs, but only do what feels good. And you want to make sure you're in proper alignment, so you don't want to be in a bad form and try and do these poses, because that will cause pain, and that's ultimately what we don't want. You know, we really want to practice yoga correctly to reduce pain in the long run, to promote flexibility, mobility, strength. Release your legs down in front of you. If you want to bring in any last movements, you can go ahead and do so right now. If not, come into corpse pose, which is your last pose of class, or meditative peace, our time to surrender our mind, body, and spirit after that nice, hard session from our body, our mind. Releasing any tension in the face. Letting our muscles just feel completely heavy. And let them fall further down into the mat. Space in between the eyebrows, the corners of your eyes, your cheekbones, releasing that, softening. Releasing tension in the jaw by slightly parting the mouth and letting the tongue float. Palms facing up for receiving, palms facing down for more grounding. Taking as much reserve space as you want on your mat here. This is your time to meditate, relax, surrender for yourself. Noticing nothing but your breath. Take the next few minutes of silence before I lead you out to end our practice for the full effects of Savasana. start to bring movement back into the body. Wiggle toes, roll out the ankles, wiggle the fingers. Move your head side to side. Inhale your arms up overhead for a full body stretch. I'm gonna exhale, hug your knees tight into your chest, come into a tight little ball, grab onto either elbows, and rock over to one side. Come up to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Placing your hands at your heart space and bowing in. Taking this short moment to give support, light, and love to all the dedications and intentions that we made for our practice today. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was my honor and duty to share this beautiful journey of connecting the mind, body, and soul, and focusing on what really truly matters, which is the present moment. Namaste. Thanks again, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, and I hope you have a great weekend. See you later.